All right, good morning. So I am in the Sawtooth National Forest in Idaho, just getting started on a hopefully wonderful 6-day hike known as the Sawtooth Wilderness Loop. Starting here at the Grandjean trailhead, which there's a campground here, which I stayed at last night. There's some hot springs nearby, Sacagawea Hot Springs, which I went to. So you can see the sun is just starting to shine on the mountains behind me. Backpack's feeling pretty heavy. Wish I could go a little lighter. Today's hike be the shortest, probably about 10 miles, but all uphill, about 3,000 feet elevation gain, ending at Sawtooth Lake, where I'll be camping tonight, hopefully. So the beginning of the hike starts on the Lakes Trail. This route will take a lot of different trails, so this is where I think I'll be finishing up the hike in a couple days. All right, so about 40 minutes in, the trail started right away with some pretty intense switchbacks. It's kind of, the incline has moderated a little bit, but I think it's going to be like this the whole hike today. Nice so far. So just did my first stream crossing. Had to take the boots off and on the sandals to walk across. Not too bad. Sun's up now and it's starting to get hot. I should mention that a lot of today's hike is going through a burn area, and not sure if these are the same fires, but on my drive here from Boise, there were like two seem like really big burn areas. So I know there was one bad fire here 2 years ago, but I don't know if these are all the same fires or when this one happened. Definitely a lot of growth though on the ground, so it couldn't have been that recent. Looks like something got the Sawtooth sign. All right, so I'm glad I stopped here and took out my map. I knew I was gonna have to make a right turn at some place, so I thought this was it. And I didn't realize that there was this other little trail that goes to some lakes. So my trail goes this way. I've come 4.7 miles. I got about 0.8 miles to go before I make a right turn to head to Sawtooth Lake. It's a nice area, but lots of dead, burnt trees. Well, I feel like I could be getting to like a nice spot up here. About halfway through the hike today. Been straight uphill the whole way. And it's pretty hot. The bad thing about walking through a burn area is there's no shade.
A minute later, new view. And I see the trail sign up ahead where I think I'll be turning right to head to Sawtooth Lake. All right, so I just kind of crossed over sort of a little type of pass. So I got a new view now. I've come like 6 miles, maybe a little bit more, maybe 7. No joke, for real. I think that most of my climbing is done for today. So now I'm headed to Sawtooth Lake, hoping I'm going to see some lakes soon here. All right, so there is a little lake down there. I think it's called the McGowan Lake. Right here I have my first snow patch that I'll have to cross somewhere. It's crazy here. I remember this last time I was here. Like my skin is burning, I'm sweating like a madman. It's so hot, and yet the water is so cold. I walked out slowly just because it's very rocky, and by the time I got to some place where I was like waist deep and could, stand in some sand, my legs were already going numb. So I had a quick dive in and then jump out. All right, there's the lake I just was at. It's always hard with switchbacks to know exactly where you're going. Thought I was headed up this way, but now this is a possibility too. All right, so this snow bank was at the top of my climb. So I climbed over the snow bank and this is what we got. Sawtooth Lake. Pretty amazing. So you can see the trail on the other side of the lake. So that's where I'll be headed to. And camping someplace, hopefully near where the trail is close to the lake. Almost down to the lake. There's another lake that's over here. It's pretty nice. I did read that there are some campsites along this lake. I see a couple people over there. So there are a bunch of nice camping spots right kind of at the bottom of the hill. Some people there, it looks like for the day, just hanging out, but I didn't like the spot that much because it's kind of like the outflow of the lake and there's a whole bunch of logs piled up. So I'm going to keep walking along the shore. I may end up walking to the whole opposite end of the lake because I could see there was kind of like a grassy area in between two lakes, this lake and another lake. So we'll see. So just walking along the shore of the lake now. Headed to that grassy area at the end of the lake where the big mountain kind of meets it. So I'm hoping it's going to be my camping spot. All right, so got a pretty awesome campsite here on this sort of grassy bluff overlooking two lakes. This is like a small lake down right here, and here's Sawtooth Lake. So total today I hiked almost exactly 10 miles, 8.5 hours, which is slow, but it was almost all uphill. I saw 13 people today. However, 10 of them were here at the Sawtooth Lake, so you can make of that what you will.
Good morning. This is day 2 hitting the trail. Today's hike will be about 13 miles, ideally. Plan is to camp at Upper Barren Lake. So today's hike will be start off first half, basically downhill the whole way, losing all the elevation that I gained yesterday, and then second half right back up another 3,000 feet. So it should be a pretty tough day. Yesterday was rough, all uphill, pretty hot, but I feel surprisingly good today. So we'll see how it goes. I should say that since I left, or really got to Sawtooth Lake yesterday, I'm now hiking on the North Fork Barren Sawtooth Lake Trail. But yesterday and today, tons of trees lying across the trail. This one got me here. So I took my shirt off to wait for the bleeding to stop. I could blow all my shirt. Don't need to ruin a shirt, you know. So I'm getting, I think, close to the bottom of my descent before I start heading uphill for the rest of the day. You're going someplace up to the left here. All right, so just took a little break for a snack, drink water. I reached the trail junction where this is now the Barren Creek, Redfish Creek, Barren Creek Trail. So turning left, which will take me to the Barren Lakes. If I went right, it's about maybe 4 or 5 miles back to Grandjean campground where I started at. So far, hike's been pretty rough actually. It's very hot and not a lot of shade, mostly burnt trees. And a lot of trees lying across the trail, which slowed me down a lot. So I'm not making very quick progress. Not a lot of shade here. All right, so I think I've gotten over the really steep part on my hike to the Barren Lakes. A really difficult climb. It's super hot, no shade. I ran out of water like a couple hours ago, and like the whole trail follows, I guess, Barren Creek, but you're never really close to it. So at one point, I put my backpack down and bushwhacked to get some water from the stream. I could hear it, see it really, but that was a long delay because then I had a hard time finding the trail. Then once I found the trail, I kind of overshot, so I wasn't sure if my backpack was uphill or downhill. It took me a while to find it, and then I gotta wait for the iodine tablets to kick in. So went for quite a long time without water.
Well, now I just had a drink not a while ago, so not long ago. All right, so here we go. Not a lot of video taping today because I was just struggling. Well, this is a first for this trip. A bridge. Wow. So, and it turns out I still have a long way to go. Like about 2 miles. Like still like 800 feet in elevation change to go. Getting tired. All right, so I've reached Barren Lake. Looks like I passed by a spot where there's some campsites. But we keep heading on to get to Upper Barren Lake. It's supposed to be really nice. Not that this one isn't. Of course, Upper Barren Lake means I still have to go up. So, making my way up the switchbacks. It's weird, like, I don't see anybody camping down there at all. There were 2 people that got to the lake right as I did. I don't know if they're gonna stay there or keep going. So here I am at Upper Barren Lake. So I found my camping spot. Not right here. Somebody made a fire pit here. But this is on a ledge overlooking, this is Barren Lake, where I just came from. And over here is Upper Barren Lake. It's a pretty good spot. There's quite a few people camping here, which is, I guess, this might be supposedly the nicer spot, but I'm not sure why. The other lake is just as nice, as far as I know. Typical, it's like cloudy and not very hot right now, even though it's broiling all day, sun beating on me. But I gotta go in the water. I'm so filthy. I got dirt, mud, blood. So I gotta get in the water quickly. It is dinner time, and here is my dinner spot. Sun just kind of went down behind these mountains, even though it got cloudy right as I was finishing my hike. I jumped in the water for a quick swim or cleanse. Might go back again. The water wasn't too cold. Some of the other lakes were colder. All right, good morning. It's day 3 of my hike of the Sawtooth Wilderness Loop. Today's hike, if all goes well, will be the longest day, about 14 miles to Edna Lake. There's a couple other lakes that are slightly before that if I want to stop early, so we'll see how it goes. More evidence of how hard yesterday's hike was. So I woke up this morning and tried to roll over and my hamstring cramped up. Plus my air mattress seems to have popped a hole, so also not positive. But we'll look forward to another great day. All right, big uphill climb to start the day, to get to this pass above the barren lakes, which are right down in here where I camped last night, and take a look at the other direction. Trailheads that way, a couple of lakes down there. All right, on the way downhill now. I forgot yesterday, I think, to mention the stats for the day. So yesterday was 13 miles total, 10 and a half hours, again, pretty slow. I believe that I saw 27 people yesterday. I don't know why I'm counting people. This first on the first day's hike, I was expecting not to see that many people, but there were a lot yesterday. All right, just heading down some more switchbacks. Next I'm coming to Alpine Lake, which I can already see down here. Looks beautiful. Well, somehow I missed the lake. Well, the trail didn't go that close to it, which is abnormal. There I did see a spot where it looked like there were some campsites, so I guess that's where I needed to go to get to the lake. Now this, I'm just showing where it looks like I'm heading now, down into this sort of ravine. All right, so I just turned onto a trail. I think it's the Mount Cranmer Trail. I think I should be at my lowest spot now. Been coming down since that first pass I hiked up to. It should be about 1,600 feet down. Now I have about 2,000 feet to go up. About halfway in elevation, there's Cranmer Lakes. So unlike a lot of the first 2 days, this area has not been hit by a forest fire. So it's nice and shady right now. So getting pretty close to the Cranmer Lakes. There's three, a little one, a middle one, and an upper one. First two are pretty small. Upper Cranmer is the biggest, but should be there pretty soon. Alright, so this is the lower Cranmer Lake. A little grassy. There's a big campsite back here. So I'm going to continue on to the next one. So this is the middle Cranmer Lake. It's bigger than I thought. Nice waterfall over there. There's a bunch of people camping here. So it should be not too much farther to the upper Cranmer Lake. And here we have Upper Kramer Lake. And right now I don't see anybody here, which is weird. But this was the more popular spot. All right, so I'm leaving Upper Cranmere Lake. Can't really see it from here. I just took a quick cold plunge. Now I got a 1,000-foot climb to get me to the highest point on this 6-day hike. Be about 9,400 feet. But it's about a 1,000-foot climb from here. Also starting to hear a little bit of thunder. So we'll see how that goes. Just passed by this little lake. It's been a pretty steep climb so far. This is where I'm headed. It's starting to rain a little bit. Some dark clouds in one direction, but still kind of clear in the other. So hopefully it won't be bad. There's just lakes everywhere you look here. I almost passed by this one without seeing it. I was focused on uphill. All right, so doing pretty well on my ascent here. This is where I'm headed. Let's try that again. Up there is where I'm headed. So I don't think I have that much further to go. Kind of interesting area. I found that hiking Monster Uphill is way easier when it's cloudy and a slight sprinkle as compared to yesterday. Broiling sun. All right, I made it to the pass. Not bad. About a little over 2.2 miles, 1,000 feet, about an hour and a half. Not too bad. Let's see what it looks like over here. Still raining a little bit, which is perfect for the uphill hike. Oh boy. Look at that. All right, so as I was about to start having a snack up at that pass, like it started thundering, then it started hailing, raining hard. So I quickly packed up, put my weather cover on, and started hiking downhill. Now the sun is out, as you can see. Right at the pass, there's this beautiful lake. And then now there's this other beautiful lake. It's a different lake. This one I think is probably Hidden Lake, which I'm gonna hike past. So. All right, so this is Hidden Lake. I passed by like what looked like a really nice campsite that people were staying at. This is another really nice spot. What a beautiful spot. Oh. All right, here is my campsite at Edna Lake. Quick recap. When I was at Hidden Lake, two people I stopped there to swim, and I had found a nice campsite. So these two people who showed up asked me if I was camping there, so I said I was going to keep going. And they told me that there were a lot of people staying at Edna Lake and that all the good sites were taken, but that there was no one staying at Virginia Lake. So I thought I would stay at Virginia Lake, which came first. But there were no sites there. And when I got there, it was like a monsoon, hail, thunder. So I waited out underneath a pine tree, realized that there weren't going to be any good sites there. So I kept going here to Edna Lake, where there were a lot of people camping here, but I found this decent spot. And I'm about to make dinner. All right, so here's Edna Lake in the morning, starting day 4. Today's hike should be about 11 miles to Everly Lake, which is a little bit of a side trail from the loop that I'm doing. But I should pass a bunch of lakes today, just kind of like every day. So here we go. Another look at Agnes Lake over kind of straight ahead, where there's a little bit of a sort of rock overlooking the waters, kind of where everyone is camping. And here we have Vernon Lake. Just having a snack here after my morning cold plunge here at Vernon Lake. From here, I'll be headed to Ardith Lake. All right, steep climb from Vernon Lake. You can maybe see the lake down here. After, lots of thunderstorms and off and on rain yesterday and yesterday evening, looks pretty nice today. No clouds in the sky. There's so many lakes here. A lot of them don't even have, the smaller ones don't even have names like this one. It's not even that small, but I just saw this like rocky peninsula. And there's an awesome campsite here. So I'm now hiking down some really steep switchbacks to Ardith Lake, which just looks amazing. It's massive. It's hard to tell from this spot. So just found a nice camping spot. Not that I'm staying here, but just to hang out a little bit at Ardith Lake. So still hiking along the shore of Ardith Lake. Just turn left on the, I think it's called the 10 Lake Basin Trail. So be on this for a little while. All right, about to hike to the top of this pass here, which is like right there. I can see part of the trail going along here. So sometimes these look worse than they are, but I wasn't expecting this today. All right, so made it to the top of the pass. Not too bad. This is looking back the way I came. Looking this way, I still haven't really seen what's on the other side. But the lake, this one right here is Ardith Lake, where I came from. There's a couple other small lakes too. But pretty cool spot. So starting to work my way down from the pass, and I'm just getting some views of Spangle Lake, I think it is. So this trail should pass by there. I should mention, yesterday I lost count of people that I saw, just because there's so many people at the popular lake camping spots. So I counted up to like 25, 26 hiking, but counting the camping spots, there's well over 40. Today, I haven't seen a single person hiking. There were a couple of guys camped at Ardith Lake. That's it today. So this one is called Lake Ingeborg. So this is Lake Ingeborg. My videos are probably becoming pretty boring, but each lake is more beautiful than the last. All right, so I think that this is Benedict Lake. Figure that out as I get closer. All right, so I just saw the first two people hiking all day, two women. So they informed me that this is not Benedict Lake, this is Rock Slide Lake, which makes sense if you look up here. So, and it is raining a little bit, even though, again, it's sunny. And here we have Rock Slide Lake. So kind of a cool area that I'm hiking through. So this is Benedict Lake. It was really hard to see until I was right here through the trees. It's very grassy along the shores. All right, I had to get out of that spot, even though I wanted to enjoy a snack and sit there and watch, because there were like trout jumping out of the water. But the bugs are horrendous, gnats all over me. One thing about this trip, the bugs have been pretty bad. Mosquitoes in some places, gnats in other places, sometimes flies, but they're pretty bad. Cool. Little water slide. So I am on this side trail that takes me to Everly Lake, It's about 1.8 miles off of the loop that I'm doing. Hope it's nice. It's a brutal climb and not done yet. Oh my God, look at this lake. Oh, what a climb. All right, now I gotta find a campsite, which looks pretty rocky. So hopefully there's a campsite here someplace. All right, well, this rocky area is gonna be my campsite. It's perfect. There's a nice flat spot a little bit back here. All right, so this is my camping spot at Everly Lake. This is unbelievable. Definitely worth the climb, but it was a tough one to get up here. And unlike most of the trails here, these was like Adirondack style, straight up. So it's unbelievable here. Already went swimming. Gonna go again while the sun is still out and it's hot. And then eat dinner because I'm starving. So I am just leaving Everly Lake. So this is morning day 5. A little bit of a late start today. I slept later than usual and was moving kind of slowly this morning. Today's hike, we have to return to the main loop. And the rest of the next 2 days will be hiking along the South Fork Payette River. So I'm not sure, it's about 20 miles total over 2 days. So I'm not sure where I'm gonna stop tonight. So just got here. This is like the intersection. I was just technically on the Benedict Trail, so now I'm joining the South Fork Payette River Trail, which I'll be on the rest of the hike, including tomorrow. So in about 2.5 miles, I should get to Elk Lake. Here I am at Elk Lake. The last mile of the trail has been horrendous with trees down all over the place. The last one was like 18 trees piled on top of each other to get around. Oh my God. So this is the Payette River. I was hoping, since I'm on the South Fork Payette River Trail, that I'd see more of this. Most of the time, though, the trail, so far, the trail has been kind of far away from the stream. But I'm going to be looking for a camping spot right, next to the stream or nearby. So hopefully I will find that. My plan today is to hike till about 4 o'clock, turn the location on my phone and see how far I've gotten. If I've gotten at least more than 10 miles, I'll, from that point, look for a campsite. Lots of wildflowers in this area. It's gotten cloudy today. A few drops of rain. It's kind of like the pattern here every day. It starts out clear blue skies, and as the day goes on, the clouds build. So it looks like we're coming up to like a rock slide area. All right, so it's 4 o'clock. So just checked out on all trails where I at. So it says that I've come about 11 miles today, which means I have about 9 to do tomorrow if I stopped here. So now I'm just looking for a campsite where there's water. But I haven't really seen too many recently, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so still looking for a campsite. This area, if you're doing this hike, there's not a lot of camping spots along this Payette River trail. It's very, even though now I'm close to the river, it's very densely vegetated. A lot of times the trail's not even close to the river. But I haven't, I've been looking for the last hour. I have not found a spot to camp. So hopefully I will find one before I get to the trailhead. Alright, strangely enough, just a few minutes after my last video, walking around a fallen tree led me to this spot, which is going to be it. Really not bad. So a little bit of hill up here, it's flat. I can put my tent. Nice waterfall. Alright, so I got my tent set up. Some laundry going. Bathed myself. Dinner is rehydrating. We got today spicy sausage bolognese, and well, part of the sky is blue. I feel like that's because I took the time to put my pack cover on. Usually that means it doesn't rain. So. And beautiful waterfall. One thing that's amazing about Idaho is that the sun, or at least it stays light so late. Like right now it's 9:05, and like the sun just a few minutes ago went down behind that mountain range, but it's still a long way from setting. I mean, it stays light till like 10 o'clock at least. All right, just getting started. Morning, day 6. Last day, got about 7.5 miles to go. Phone battery's at about 22%, so hopefully it makes it the rest of the way. I basically made it through 6 days with fully charged phone and a Goal Zero battery booster. So that's good. Also, update on my air mattress, Big Agnes air mattress. Like the first night, I thought that it popped a hole, which it did. But it turns out it was a pretty slow leak, small hole, so it's able to get through each night with only having to re-inflate it like once in the middle of the night. But small leaks don't usually get smaller, they usually get bigger, so it's probably on borrowed time.
river down below, and we're walking through another big burn area. I should also mention, today is the first day that the day started off cloudy. Every other day it was like blue skies in the morning. So you can probably see the sun has come out. And like a lot of the hike, the burnt trees don't provide a lot of shade. Just saw, today I've seen 5 people so far, which is astonishing. 2 days ago I saw only 2 people. Yesterday I saw 1 person the whole day. All right, another river crossing. This one looks pretty deep though, in its deepest spot. Probably gonna put my phone in the backpack. This wouldn't be the first time that I walk through waist deep water with my phone in my pocket. All right, coming to the end of the hike, I can see the parking lot from here. If you enjoyed the video, please click like or subscribe to the channel. This hike was awesome, very grueling. Had its difficult moments, that's for sure, but a lot of awesome scenery, and campsites were great. So many lakes. Really nice trip.